Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Well, today we're going to be talking about something that's making me relatively happy so far, and it is the book, The Sword of Shannara, The Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks. And okay, I might be talking soon about what really ticks me off because my computer's acting up. Oh, now it's back. Yay! So I am joined here once again by the lovely Princess Rennie.
Well, hello, Teresa. I thought you were going to say that about Stig. I don't know why.
No, he does not really tick me off.
No, I meant lovely, but yeah.
Oh. There are several adjectives I can think of, but and they're not lovely. Just that's a little too girly for him.
I've never had anyone call me lovely before.
I think you're just lovely.
I was gonna say, if you say so, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for the sweet introduction, Teresa. It's always a pleasure to be here with both of you guys. Very much enjoyed these last 3 chapters. So excited to talk about those with both of you and the audience, of course.
Yeah. Well, great. And though he's had a slightly introduction, all the way from the north, the lovely and the brilliant and the man, the legend, the Viking himself, it is Stig Kenobi.
How do you do?
Oh, well, that's a very nice and polite introduction. Okay, I do very well. You are Stig, as many of you know, is from the future. So, Stig, how is the future?
It's fucked. It's we're all doomed.
Oh, well, good to know.
Yeah, this week my hatred level is at 6 out of 10, so it's not bad. It never dips below a 5, though.
I was gonna say that's pretty low for you right now, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, there we are. Good for you. And of course, everyone in our chat, thank you. It is Hyunsu. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend this week. I have been reading it for the first time, actually, and listening to the discussions afterwards. Hopefully, I'll be able to join you next week. Well, thank you. And I do appreciate that. I do appreciate all my guests and everyone that will be listening here on the replay. Thank you for being here. And we have a polar bear. The polar bear is here. Hello, humans and other critters. He says, I will be splashing in the Rappahalladron River looking for tasty fishies. Okay. Rennie's here. Like, share, and subscribe. Jacob Ironside, good to see you. And I see you around in various chats. Always a pleasure. Rolling Chairs is here. Rolling Chairs is here with good vibes. Thank you very much. Oh, from Snortopookus, the lovely Steve. Oh, and someone from the South Continent. It is Timon Flip. How are things down? I think we're actually on the same latitude. Not latitude. Yeah, it is latitude. No, it's longitude. Whatever it is, I think we're in the same time zone. I'm down there in Brazil. Let's see, anyone else? I don't want to miss anyone. Everyone's saying hi. Everyone's loving each other. There's Keck. Hello, Keck. Thank you for being here. Always good to see you. And thank you all of those again that are listening will be listening on the replay, and those that are lurking. And I want to just warn you, my computer is being wonky. So if I suddenly disappear, Stig and Rennie, it's all up to you to keep it going while I curse and yell. For some reason, my computer's being a little witch. But I think it'll be okay. I think it will be okay. Well, we are discussing
you're skipping quite a bit.
The Sword of Shannara, the Sword of Shannara.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was me or if it was her.
Shit.
Yeah, you're going robotic on us, Teresa.
Okay, I realize I froze. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Did you hear my warning that my computer was being shit?
Yes.
Yeah, and then like right after as retaliation, it started making you skip and freeze.
Can you hear me now? No. Okay. Okay. So I think I was warning you all that my computer's being wonky and something might happen.
Yeah, we heard that, and then it got wonky.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello.
It's like every time she talks about her computer, it's like, all right, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can hear her in the background though.
Yeah. I thought I heard her.
Yeah. Well, we can take some questions from the chat though while we
Yeah.
wait. Ask us anything. Yeah, Snorter Poopa says the skull bearers have invaded Teresa's computer. Yes, indeed, they have.
Oh, yeah, I like that. That's a possibility. If for anyone who has followed along, how have we liked these last 3 chapters, or how have you liked the first 6 total that we're going to discuss?
Yeah, I know Snorter Poopas might have started reading them. And we have Matt G as well with coffee and bacon, I believe.
I had coffee, but I did not have bacon today.
Yeah. Timon Flip asks if I have played Pathfinder. Once. It's basically what D&D should have been after 3.5 edition. Basically, piles of people quit Wizards of the Coast when they made 4th edition and made a company called Paizo, where they made an RPG called Pathfinder.
Oh, look at Snortopupus's question. That's a very curious one right there. It's right under Timon Flips.
Oh, the airspeed of an unladen skull bear. It's 60 miles per hour.
Oh, that's too cute. It's like a little piece of Monty Python in the chat. Yeah. And I want to say that Jacob Ironside has read quite a bit of the book, if he hasn't finished it already. And Snortopupus. Sorry.
How are you guys in the chat liking the book so far? And well, chapter 1 through 6, rather. You will answer immediately.
Yeah, because like Teresa and I said last week, this is our first go round, so it's as new to us, to the two of us, as it may be for some of you guys as well, which I think is kind of a fun adventure. So just kind of curious as to what everyone's first impressions are of the first 6 chapters.
Yeah. Oh, Jacob Ironside has like 3 or 4 chapters left. So yeah, you're ahead of us. Well, I read the book at least 2. I think this is my 4th time. Dang. It's actually one of the first non-Tolkien fantasy books I ever read, because I was reading The Lord of the Rings and being hooked on that, and Conan. And for my birthday, my dad had bought me the 2nd book in the series, Elfstones of Shannara. And you can read that one as a standalone, definitely. And I was like, shit, this is good. And then I got book 3 and then 1. So I read 2, 3, and 1, I think. Or was it 2, 1, and 3? I think it was 2, 1, and 3, actually. Because my dad saw I liked it, and all of a sudden he bought me book 2 and 3, 1 and 3 as well. So
awesome. And Snortopupus says he likes it so far, but he's about halfway through chapter 5, which is pretty cool.
Hi, Teresa.
Hello.
Welcome back.
I think it's back. I had to do a complete hard reboot because, of course, that only happens right before I go live. And thank you. Yeah, thank you for keeping the stream alive. Yeah, I tried to put some questions in the chat, but, I like what people are saying. Timon Flip says Monty Python has more Tolkien in it than the Rings of Power. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Oh, Snortopoopas says some futuristic miscreant provided him with the words. That's correct, because I took the Sword of Shannara trilogy, placed it on a little ice flake, and shoved it out to sea towards them. And
Oh,
I'm glad it got there.
That's cool.
nice. Okay, yeah. Sorry about this rough start. Roland Chair says I haven't read this book yet. I don't know what to ask about it. Sorry. Yeah. And Zakrot, hello. Thank you for being here. Yeah. And Matt G, thank you also for being here. Um. Oh yeah, and I see some of these. Great. Thank you for keeping it together. Yeah. Cuck. I am sorry, Keck. You are not a cuck. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm sure you're not. You are not Prince William, apparently, or Prince Harry. Oh, yeah, I don't know what's going on over there.
Prince.
Sometimes my family member, a young family member, will go, "Auntie, why are you so obsessed with these people?" And I'm like,
mistress is named Peggy Moorcock.
Exactly. And like I said, that's why Auntie is so into the royal family. You can't get soap opera like this. Not anymore. Yeah, interwebs are terrible this morning. Yeah, 2 minutes behind. Yeah. Hey guys. Hello, Monkey Jeebus. Thank you for being here. Yeah. I mean, and that's for real, right? That's not a joke. That's her name, the mistress? Alleged
No,
mistress?
it's a joke.
Oh, it
Definitely.
is a joke. Oh. Hey,
you know,
with these Brits, you never know. Okay. I mean, I swear if her name is Margaret, that would be pretty funny.
It would be fun if it was like a male and the guy was called Craven Moorhead.
Gee, Winnie Mac. Yeah. For those of you that this might be your first book discussion, they usually don't go like this or like not this quickly, but my internet decided to be a little witch after working the entire week and then even up to getting the stream ready and then boom, the second we went live. But oh, for fuck's sake.
Good God, madam. The language.
My virgin ears.
In public.
I have heard a few curse words with what's going on.
Shame on you. Boo.
I should go around with a little bell like on Game of Thrones. Shame. Ding.
Hey, Father Miller's not here, so I'm safe. And I didn't take the Lord's name in vain, so screw you all. Screw you all. I am in a rage right now because of my computer. But everything is getting on. Oh, good. Timon Flip's here to bring us back to sanity. Timon says, I got to know Shannara through the TV show. Oh, I watched only for the girls. Lots of beauties. A series with Matt. Okay, well, I can't begrudge you that. I mean, if the ladies are nice looking, and but yeah, I heard it was shite, complete garbage. And let's see, bad form says Luffy is God. Oh gosh. Jacob Ironside. My father and his family moved from Texas to Iowa this week. Oh, why leave? Well, I guess Iowa.
Why are you upset though, or rather, are you in Iowa and don't want them to move there, or are you in Texas and you're sad that they moved away?
I don't like to say exactly where I live, but no, I do not live in Iowa. I'm just saying that Texas is awesome, but I don't think Iowa sucks, so it's okay. But you see, we want to keep people that don't suck in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm not going there.
You won't anyways, because you don't fly.
No.
How would you get to the U.S. if you came over? Would you do like the whole boat thing, or
what?
Like, you can travel from Europe.
Oh, I thought you meant I was going to sail over and pillage.
Well, I mean, I think that would be an awfully exhausting venture, but I mean, you're welcome to try it.
Yeah. In like 6 months from now, a Viking sacked Austin or something in Texas.
You wouldn't want to try to sack anything in Texas, Steve, because you'd be met with a lot of guns.
I was going to say, you're going to have a lot of guns pointed at you.
Yeah.
Well, they have a history of not fending off attacks in Texas. So.
Oh, don't even.
Checkmate.
Oh, boy.
See, this is the real reason he'll never come to Texas, because he'll say that at the Alamo and he'll get
shot.
Well, he'll have like 50 people just beat him to death.
And And they'll all be wearing cowboy hats.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I kid you not. Okay, Snorter Poop says Stig would not care for Texas. The hot summers and lack for fjords would annoy him.
The temperature would definitely just kill me.
Yeah, well, you just stay inside. I mean, that's what
it's called air conditioning, dude.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, I just stay inside. It's like winter. The way like
it wouldn't be. Yeah, let's go to Texas across the planet and sit in an apartment with air conditioning, and then go home.
Well, come in the winter. And the winters in Texas are like your summers. Yeah, but he'd have to go by boat. So by the time he got here, yeah. Okay,
it'd be summer again.
Yeah. Yo, Subhuman. Okay, we had a bit of a crazy start because of my computer, but thank you. We've got 10 people in the chat. Thank you. If you haven't already, please like.
Timon Flip, I do not sound like I'm in Downton Abbey, sir.
I hate
if you
to
say things like that, I'm going to tell Papa.
Oh dear.
Well done. I was about ready to say, it's like I was about ready to inform you. Sadly, Steve, you really do. You sound like a very posh British man. Okay, Steve will hitchhike with the "How dare you, girl." And Snorter Poopa says, besides horns, look silly on cowboy hats. Yes, they do.
Yeah, it looked like they had a bad meeting with a bull. Like they're really bad cowboys.
Yeah. All right. Remember to hit the like button, people. Okay. Well, and speaking of remembering, we've already remembered the Alamo in the wrong way. Let's get to the chapter. Okay, the Sword of Shannara. Last time we left our people, the Nazgul showed up, or rather the the skull people, or whatever it was.
Skull bearers.
Thank you. The skull bearers. They showed up, and and they were like, "Oh my gosh, whatever will happen?" And well, they escaped though. Well,
yay. It was scratching around and killed a dog.
Yeah, a wolf dog.
Yeah, it was sniffing around outside, and that was a close call.
Yeah,
because they went outside afterwards, and then left a letter for the dad. But when they escaped the Shady Vale town, that skullbearer was in town somewhere.
Yeah, but that would have really sucked as a book if they just sneak outside and then they get killed.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Story over.
It's like, why?
And while it lasted. Yeah. No, but poor doggy. So, and I think I had commented to ye that this was very, for lack of a better word, action oriented. Even all 3 chapters, it was a lot of escaping and walking and all that kind of stuff. And chapter 4, I mean, as far as like, if I were to say what happened in here of significance, I want either you to kind of think about it. Besides the fact that they escaped, to me, there wasn't really much more going on. What do you think, Rennie? Oh, sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
No, I'll let Rennie reply.
Oh. Well, the close calls and the constant fear in chapter 4 is kind of what really, I don't know, what really spoke to me about that. So they were constantly living in fear as they were traveling and escaping the Vale. And, there was, that really close call with the skull thing. I'm sorry, I forgot what you called it, Steve.
Skull bearer. There's also a picture of it in the private chat, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and bring it up. Timon Flip called it the skull beaver.
But yeah, there was a close call with that. But I think more than anything, it was their fear that drove them. But like the fear of the unknown, are we taking the right route? Is it going to catch us? And so that's really what spoke a lot to the chapter, or to me, about the chapter, as well as I felt like it was a lot of bonding for the brothers. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Okay, good point.
Also, it was I thought it was cool that he the writer Terry Brooks made a point out of the characters kind of considering if they should run across an open field or not, if they should risk it, because they would be spotted from the air, right?
Right away, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and Skull Koala said Monkey Jeebus. Yeah, well, that's what I thought what made them very sinister was that aspect. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
they decided to go to Menyon Lee,
Yeah.
because the two brothers are not well versed in geography, so that they've been told to go to Colhaven, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not sure how to get there. But Menyon is kind of he's a huntsman,
Adventurer.
yeah,
Yeah.
adventure huntsman, so he would most likely get them there, and they have already kind of gotten an invite from him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and there was a little bit of conflict because they weren't really supposed to share
Yeah,
any
exactly.
information.
Because Al-Anon was like, you don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Okay, here's a picture of the skull beaver. Yeah. Thank you, Timon. Now I've got it in my head. Skull bearer. Okay.
Yeah, imagine seeing this one scratching around outside your bedroom. And you've never seen a monster before, right?
Oh, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. That's the thing of nightmares. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's like
also, remember in the previous chapter, it was described that something was moving under its cloak.
Oh fuck!
And that was the wings, because the cloak was covering its wings when it was scratching around.
Okay. Oh,
so it is kind of like a ring bearer / Dementor with like wings, kind of thing.
Yeah, something.
That's kind of how I picture it.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. Apparently, I'm too stupid to share a screen properly.
Well, it did get shared.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. But I was trying to put it in a different layout, and I don't know what I did. I want it to be laid out with us, but I can't go back and forth, so forget it.
Yeah, I think you have to set it as a background or something. If I don't know. Don't know.
Fuck it. Okay, I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Yay, there it is. I'm sorry, continue. Women can't.
Yeah, anyway, that's the shit that's hunting them.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want that thing chasing me while I was trying to sleep.
No.
That's for sure.
And of course, the poor bastard's like, all I did was just... my
exist?
Yeah, and some creepy old man comes in. I'm looking for you. Yeah. Well, yeah, I've gotten a lot of comments in the Twitter and stuff where people are all like, do you know this is just like the Lord of the Rings? And it's like, yes, I'm aware. And I mean, the parallels are definitely there. It just is what it is. Oh, and that's just the only thing it's going to be. But for sure, fuck me. Oh, I spilled my damn coffee. I can't take it anymore.
Oh, girl, I'm so sorry. I've had days like that where I'm like, all right, if I knock one more thing over or injure or, smash one more toe, that's it. I'm done.
So. Yeah. Well, part of the problem is I have been, okay, I do talk with my hands, and if anything is near me, it suffers a fate worse than death. But at least I didn't spill my cream for my tea. But I digress.
Oh yeah, at least you have that.
No, but I do understand her pain because I talk with my hands a lot, and sometimes, like especially at my desk at work, I have so much on my desk that if I'm talking to someone on the phone or somebody comes into my office, I'm just gesticulating so much that I wind up knocking stuff off of my desk, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. And yes, I started off bad, and I started off just cussing up a storm, so I may as well just continue. But Jacob Ironside says, I will sketch out what I envisioned the skull bearers to look like. I thought it was more terrifying. Oh, okay. Well, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Send it
Oh,
along.
send us, fan art of the books.
Please do. Because,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I am upset that I can't. I mean, I guess I could have if I'd have started like 30 years ago, but I just do not have a great deal of visual art, and I think that I would have loads of fun with this if I did know how to draw. But since I don't, please let me vicariously live through it.
I can draw, but it looks like shit.
I can do stick figures and like childlike landscape scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it.
That's what I do too. Well, technically, someone has told me I do have visual art since I make crochet things from that.
Oh,
but,
there you go.
But it's not the same as drawing a scary ass picture. Because if I were to make a little doll of this guy, it would just look cute. They just look cute. Tyrone, good day, people. Hello, can't even. Yes. And he says, "Will do." Yes, please do. As Steve was saying, yes, please do. Because public service announcement. The more we can show our imaginations and good imagination and share good books, good art, original covers, it's attractive. I mean, you don't even have to say anything. You just post it. It's like, look at this. Isn't this great? Kelvington, hello. Oh, still has Baby Yoda on there.
Kelvington.
Oh, boy. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? We are tolerant of diverse opinions here at Miss Martin Muses. And I will admit I was completely guilty of liking Baby Yoda season 1. So I am completely guilty. But yeah, excellent. Thank you. Okay, so Steve, anything else you got from this chapter?
Not really. It's an escape chapter, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like a fight or flight kind of thing.
Yeah, and they are flying. And will they ever get home to their daddy? Oh, Luffy's God said, I feel sorry for the skull. He clearly got arthritis. Look at those hands.
No wonder he's so upset and he's looking to hurt someone. He's in pain.
The dude just needs to get some edibles. Yeah. How about you, Rennie?
Yeah, it was kind of a tense chapter, but like I said, for me, I also appreciated the bonding of the brothers as well. So it was very exciting. It was very tense, but also, kind of sweet as well. So, they realized that, like Shay was like, I could have done this alone at first. And it's like, well, but no, you couldn't have. You needed Flick there. You just didn't realize it, So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Especially the beginning where, I think it was towards the beginning, right? Where Flick starts to slip and he screams and it calls the thing to him. The skull bearer.
Mm.
Yeah, that was kind of like, oh no.
Yeah.
So yeah, exciting.
And also, the thing that nightmares are made of. Make a little Halloween thing going on. Alrighty, well, we're going to go ahead and move on to chapter 4, and hopefully I will get my bearings, everything off today. I'm sorry, chapter 5. Did I say that wrong? All right, chapter 5. I liked this because we were going to see our first kingdom, if you will. When you look at the map, they're going to be doing lots of travels, and they're like, let's go to the kingdom of Leah and see Minion. So they do. Rennie, what'd you think?
Well, I thought it was quite interesting because I don't recall them mentioning that Minion Lee was a prince before this chapter. So that was kind of interesting. And, they kind of talked and, even though They do mention politics a little bit. They talk about Shay's political beliefs versus Minion's, and the whole Minion and Flick interaction was pretty fun as well. And I don't know. I like Minion Lee so far. He seems to be a pretty cool character. Very sarcastic, which I love. So I love whenever he gives Flick a good ribbing, and and Shay's like, "Stop it."
Well,
That's cute.
Yeah, I felt as far as Flick was concerned, he had it coming.
Yeah,
He was being a little emo bitch, for lack of a better word.
but he kind of reminds me of, like, I can't say Samwise Gamgee, but he's just that constant, that character that's never trusting anyone and very protective of his friends and family. That's kind of what he screams to me. So I can see why he's like, yeah, I don't know about you, man. But at the same time, it's like, all right, you need to lighten up. So
Yeah, get and trust each other. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, Steve has something to share. So, Steve, while I get this set up, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's a pause in the escape and some exposition. They flesh out Mannion a bit, or rather introduce him. Mm-hmm. And he's obvious a fellow of some skill, mm-hmm. And probably the polar opposite of Flick, which is why they don't get along. Even is very different to Shay as well, mm-hmm. because Shay is, like it says in the chapter, he's very conservative, but Mannion is more like a liberal rich boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's well put.
Yeah, I felt that too, about the respite, what you said, with when they arrived and they're like, have a bath, have a bunch of food, and it was like they were so hungry because they'd been walking all day that they said they ate enough for 3 people, and it just felt very cozy. And then and as Steve was saying, I like the idea that they're different, that they're not just these cookie cutter people. And and apparently this was back in a time when you could disagree with people.
Yeah,
and still be friends.
Also, if you think about it, it says a lot about Mannion, though, because he's obviously very generous, because he gave them a big dinner, gave them rooms, gave them a bath, and also gave them new clothes.
Yeah.
Without even blinking. And he's also a prince. He's heir to the throne in Lee. Mm-hmm. And he's made friends with 2 commoners, good friends.
Hey.
So he's a bit of a, not really a dandy, but he's certainly not a stuck-up, spoiled nobleman, right?
Yeah, and I did like his, like, when he first sees the 2 brothers, he kind of looks concerned, or he sounds concerned. He's like, "Oh my goodness, look at you guys. What's going on? Come in." So that was, he did give them quite a good sense of care. It wasn't just, a very, cold thing. It was like, "Oh my gosh, are you guys okay? Have a bath, have some food, relax, take a load off, So it's very kind.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And speaking of very kind, Tyrone says, or Tyron, I think.
Gosh, yes.
Yeah.
You got
Tyron. All right. Rennie had to pause there for a second. The edibles were mentioned. What?
Oh my goodness.
Well,
that
damn chapter made me want to eat like roast mutton or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It made me want to take a bubble bath. A bath bomb.
I actually, did also listen to part of the audiobook while I was taking a bubble bath. Just saying.
There you go. Yeah. He gives you another dig. Oh, in chapter 4, not after eating enough for 3 people. Oh,
thank you so much.
Hey, I'll tell you. We've said it once, we said it twice, and I think we've all said it again. When you're out walking and you're cold, and I'm thinking about when in Ireland as a kid, you're by the sea and there's a mist and you're just freezing. and then you get in, there's like a lamb stew or beef stew or really, really piping hot soup. Hell yes.
Yeah, somebody offers you warmth, a bath, and you know, a fresh set of clothes, and you're dirty, cold, and you know, hungry. Yeah, you'd be like, yes, please.
the the best thing to eat if you've been out in the cold all day, out in the snow, is homemade meat and vegetable soup because it
Mm.
just warms you up from the inside out. It's awesome.
Hell to the yes. And apparently, we've got a bunch of druggies in the chat. Everyone's sharing their Mooching Bear approves of edibles. Monkey Peepus says hitting his bong now. Kelvington edibles are the best. Sort of poop is lamb. Oh, num num num. Yeah. He's like, where did you grow up? 1600 Ireland? No. It was in. I don't think this is a secret. It was in Cork, Ireland. I was in a suburb of Cork, and very nearby was Kinsale, where my father worked. And we used to go there all the time. Yeah, even today. I was there back in 2019. It's friggin' freezing. And yeah, they have these little pubs there, and yeah, you'll just pop in and get some stew. It's a thing. Field trip, everybody. Let's go. Kinsale 2023. If we don't have another, what are they starting to call them now? Election variants.
Oh yeah.
Every time there's an election, we're going to get a new variant.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but yes, Steve, you are correct, and now it makes me want to go get some vegetable soup. It doesn't get cold here though. I guess I don't know how I'd have to get cold. I'd have to like jump into some ice cubes. That would be weird. All right, and
Or ordered some Dairy Queen.
oh yeah, but I'm not going to bathe in Dairy Queen. And eating Dairy Queen doesn't make you cold. I mean, all right. Okay, Steve actually has something on topic here. Let me share it. But this is on topic because we're talking about the things of home, and that is what makes this cozy, and the immersion, and you feel the relief that these characters feel, and of an old friend. There he is.
Yeah, there's Minion.
Okay.
I like it.
He looks very posh.
Yeah. It's well coiffed hair. Let's see. Oh, hello, BC, aka the Dark Shadow. 93 days till Halloween. Yeah, we'll do some Halloween stuff. Yeah. We did last season, and that was loads of fun. Speaking of freezing to death, I always think of cold when I think of Halloween. But yeah, I like him. I mean, look at him with his little chain and stuff, and oh yeah, there was a hint that he and his daddy don't get along, right? That they're a little bit at odds.
Yeah, they don't see eye to eye about everything.
Yeah.
Or about how to run the kingdom, I believe.
Yeah, which fits because he's very carefree and he just runs off and does whatever he likes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that fits like a glove. It's also why, in part, why Flick doesn't like him. One of many things, really. Another thing.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Some infamous hunting trip where they almost got eaten by wolves, and Flick blames Minion for it still.
Yeah.
And I want to say Flick said something like he doesn't know what it's like to have a real job or something to that effect. And I'm like, dang.
Yeah. Oh, someone's got a little bit of envy. Or what are you, class envy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, but I got to admit, I enjoyed these parts of the chapter, and gosh darn it, I'm trying to get this going, and I liked Minion, and I especially liked Minion from what you see a bit later, because he's all that we were just describing, but he's not an arrogant ass, and he is willing to admit when he's wrong, because off they go on their little adventure. Is that in this chapter? And they get lost. Yeah, I believe they do get lost in here, and that is the first time that we see the use of the jewels, or rather the elf stones. Yeah, I thought, yeah.
That's in at the end of this chapter. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know which direction to use or to go, and Shay. Someone suggests Shay try the elf stones, I think, or he did,
Mhm.
and it basically guides the way to where he wants to go.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. It's like, all right, we're already getting to see these being used. It's like
Mhm.
sometimes you see artifacts in a story and they don't really do anything, but these actually do something. So,
Yeah. Well, I was impressed, and I think I'd mentioned this, that it was a guide, it was a map, it was a GPS, it was a it's
Yeah,
like throw it in the air or
and these elf stones do get fleshed out more later on.
Mhm.
mm,
They are extremely rare and very, very valuable.
Mm. Oh,
useful.
well, yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Tyron, they them certainly belongs to the alphabet.
Mm,
This was the 80s. Or no, sorry, this was the 70s. Not that there's
yeah.
anything like that. Yeah. Oh no, well, and who was it before this finally flicked? No, it was Shay that sounds like enough already, you two get along, or
Yeah.
maybe it was
Shake
even Lydia.
hands.
Yeah, shake it. Yeah.
Yeah, which was fun because Flick carries a grudge like a dwarf, and
Yes.
he as soon as they shook hands and all that, Menyon immediately knew that Flick didn't mean a damn word.
Mhm.
Exactly. I like that you said that, like a dwarf, because the way they describe him is very reminiscent of a dwarf to me, even though he's
Mhm.
human. Sounds like a dwarf. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of dwarves, Wilkins is here.
Actually, that's a good one. Matt Wilkins says, "Is that a picture of Steeg on the weekends?" It explains a lot. Well, you missed the beginning where we described him as lovely. And so,
The
Yeah, you
lovely
missed that.
Steeg.
They never called you lovely, Mr. Wilkins. In fact, they don't mention you at all.
Oh no.
Ow. Oh, everyone's saying hello. Luffy's God said, "Hey, he is a stud. He's got Kurt Russell's hairdo. Doesn't get more
Oh my
manly."
gosh. Oh dear.
Yeah, and everything. Yeah, but I like what you were talking about. It was almost like the way a kid will go, like they'll do something and they'll cross their fingers behind their back, like didn't
Oh
mean. Yeah.
yeah. Like, promise me you won't do this again or apologize. And you're like, yeah, yeah, I'm sorry, whatever. Yeah.
And then they're like, haha, I had my fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
they're
Yeah,
like
exactly.
mumble, right? I'm gonna get you at the playground later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. It's funny though, because it seemed like as I was reading this, a lot happened, but in summary, not a lot. A setup chapter, a cozy chapter, and a shit we got lost chapter, and then they were pointed toward the right place. Maybe a more accurate description than GPS is. It seemed to me the elf stones with the way the light or the pointing toward it, kind of almost like in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Like with the staff, that scene with the staff where it kind of points to the right direction or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, that's obviously not one-to-one correspondence, but that's
Yeah.
kind of how I imagined the way the elf things pointed. Um,
Yeah, that's kind of good. I was picturing like a searchlight, but I like your idea better.
yeah, yeah. Well,
So.
Searchlight's good too. I mean, yeah. Oh boy. And then, oh yeah, and another skull bearer tries to get him, but the sunlight comes. It really give me the vampire vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, why not? Yeah, there has to always be a kryptonite.
Yeah, they're apparently less powerful during the day or
Mhm.
in sunlight for some reason.
Yeah.
Like most evil creatures, right? It's like I
Yeah,
can't come out in the daytime and show you my face. You
Yeah.
know.
yeah, which is weird because Wilkins shows up in the daylight.
Oh,
Oh God, poor guy.
oh no, we love Wilkins here on Miss Martin Muses. I mean, come on, no good. Let me bring it up. His profile picture is two little babies. Had twins. Oh yeah, and they're magic twins because they were born on the 22nd of February in 2022,
Oh dang.
and they're a second pair of twins.
Oh my goodness. So Matt has two sets of twins?
Yeah,
Holy cow, Matt. Wow.
yeah. Or holy cow, his wife.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
But think about it. Two. I mean, like I said, they're gonna be like the Wonder Twins are gonna have all these powers. They're gonna fly everywhere. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, and I only feel safe sharing about it because he shared a newspaper article because I guess they made the news that day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, in the on their local news as well. Cute little babies. So we digress. No more baby talk. All right. Before I move on, anything else either of you want to say about Chapter 5? Speak now or forever destroy your happiness.
Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
No, you go first. Ladies first.
Oh, I just really I enjoyed the introduction of Minion, and like I was saying earlier, he seems to be very sarcastic, very, very much the jokester. So I like him so far. He seems really cool to me and really fun. And yeah, for being regal or royalty, seems to be very down to earth as well.
All right, Steek.
Yeah, good introduction to Minion and more traveling. or rather the start of travel. I like the traveling in these books because I've said this before. Terry Brooks is really good at describing areas and landscape.
Yeah. Well, and it gives it a feeling of a lived-in world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rennie, were you thinking past the candy cane forest and across the...
Oh my gosh, yeah, kind of like an elf.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, yeah. Because yeah, the description and stuff is a little bit different, but I still think it was cute,
Yeah. I know. I was thinking of elf. I was like, oh my gosh, and then across the whatever.
And the peppermint.
Yeah, I'm sure Elf is Steeg's favorite movie.
Never seen it.
Really? It has Will Ferrell. It's so cute.
That's probably why he...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm not really a fellow that watches cute movies.
Mm-hmm.
But,
but it really is cute.
Maybe I'll check it out. It's a Christmas movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be your Christmas challenge. And
It's got James Caan.
Yay.
And Peter Dinklage is in it as well.
Yeah, he's an angry elf.
Call me elf one more time.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of not elves, we or at least not yet. Oh, wait, we have a half elf. Chapter 6. So they go to the Black Forest, and there's like all these
The Black Oaks, I believe.
Black Oaks.
Yeah, Black Oaks.
Yeah, not the Black. Yeah, they're not in Germany.
Or Hogwarts, because I think Hogwarts has a Black Forest.
Oh yes. Yeah, and well, again, this was a very active activity chapter, and there's like they this big old mist that comes, and I don't know, but yeah, because they were trying to they had a rope, they were making a rope chain or something, and they get separated, so this felt very episodic.
Yeah, Flick almost sank in the bog, I think, so they had to haul him out.
Mm-hmm.
but thankfully it wasn't quicksand-ish, so he didn't get sucked down. He just sank,
Yeah.
and they they got him out, and then the mist was getting thicker and thicker, and they were getting demoralized, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then shit really hit the fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we had tentacle porn.
Well, it wasn't porn, no. It was.
Well, I like how they talked about the rumors or the legend of the marsh monster or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but it's just rumor. You know, who knows if this is real? And it was real. So,
yeah, it shit hit the fan.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had heard about people disappearing in there. And, you know, to be fair, they had almost sunk in the bog. So that could have been one explanation, right? And then the fog itself, you know. But then, yeah, there's a monster, big one.
I mean, if you get attacked by tentacles, it's pretty legit that monster is real. You know?
Yeah. Oh, and Sort of Poopus chimes in. Do they sell cuckoo clocks in the Black Oaks? Well, I don't believe they do. Hey, we got a cuckoo clock in the Black. Oh.
Wow.
A cuckoo cock in the back, you say?
That's rather straightforward, isn't it?
Interesting artifact.
No. Straightforward.
Yeah.
I can't.
Like, I have to hang up. It's almost noon.
I don't know why I can't talk. A cuckoo clock.
Yeah, the L is kind of vital, I feel.
Yes, I know, Jacob. I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Dana Scully in the chat says Terry Brooks is very good at creating suspense and drama and intrigue between characters. He is. You see it already with Minion
so
and
far
Flick.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah, just between these boys, yeah. Freudian slip. I don't talk like that, okay? Mist Wraith. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, thank you, Dana Scully. Thank you for being here at Miss Martin Muses. Always good to see a celebrity. I know the truth is out there. So, like, share and subscribe if you haven't already. So, okay, so they fight. Oh yeah, this tentacle monster. And once again, they have to use the elf stones again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they keep using swords and with some success, but it's not enough. And Shay decides to give the elf stones a try, and holy shit, does it work?
Yeah,
because it keeps going after Shay mainly. I don't know if it's because he's the smallest or the skinniest or whatever, but it just seems to really want to attack him the most.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's because he has the elf stone. It senses it. I don't know.
Oh, could be.
Yeah, like the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like they sense Frodo's got the ring. Oh wait, I mean he's got the elf stones now. Yeah, but yay. But I'll tell you what. In 2 chapters, they've used the elf stones. They need to be careful about this. Or Terry Brooks, well, even though he wrote it when I was barely a baby, it's too late now, I realize. But it's already starting to seem to be a little too convenient. Like that, okay, they're going to get in trouble, and then all they have to do is use the elf stone. So,
well,
I don't.
They have a limitation.
Okay.
I'll just say that, which is very apparent in the second book.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. But
no, understood. But you understand what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, next time they get in trouble, it's going to be just, they'll just get out the elf stones again. But not that I'm, complaining. Well, yes, okay, I'm complaining a little bit, but it's okay. So yeah, so that's pretty badass. And then they keep walking and walking, and then Leah, sorry, Minion disappears.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Disappears in the mist. He basically walked too fast for them or something, and then he's gone.
Well, and they almost lose each other because remember they have to grab onto each other's shirt or something like that. Because it's like, oh crap, where'd everybody go?
Yeah.
So at least the two brothers are together, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the elf stones did not kill the beastie. It drove it away, damaged it, so it didn't like blow it up.
Yeah, I felt like it just kind of, was a temporary fix.
Yeah. I think maybe it shows up in a book later on, way later on, when someone's in the same area.
Ah, well, that would make sense. Yeah, I like it though because reminds me of the movie The Mist. That whole concept of being lost in the mist and there's creatures out there and suddenly,
Yeah.
Suddenly your friend is gone.
And another thing it does is quite often in fantasy books, you'll see someone describe this and this forest and whatever is evil and it's dangerous. And then they walk through it and they just see some stuff, but nothing really dangerous happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in this case, yeah, three things happened.
Yes.
They almost sank in the bog. They almost got eaten by a tentacle monster, and they got lost in the mist several times.
Yep.
So this place is dangerous, and Brooks shows it to us too.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not fracking around. And that's quite the cliffhanger. I guess we just needed the dun dun dun. Where is he?
Yeah, exactly. Stig, you weren't kidding when you said every chapter pretty much kind of ends like, okay, so what's going on next? Where do we go from here?
It makes you want to turn the page.
Yep,
absolutely.
Which is always a good thing in my opinion.
Yeah.
If the author can make you want to know what happens next, he's done a good job.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, he's done his job. Yeah. Yeah, I do want to know what happens next. I've been a good girl. I haven't looked ahead and I haven't spoiled myself. So, we shall see. Snorta Poopa says that damn Freud certainly slips a lot. Yes, he does. And Kelvington says a Freudian slip is where you say one thing and mean your mother.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Have some little facts about Terry Brooks, though. He actually turned 78 this year.
Holy cow.
So he was actually he was past 30 when he wrote his first book.
Wow.
He used to be a lawyer.
Oh my.
And then but he has been a New York Times bestseller 23 times.
Holy cow.
And he has sold over 25 million copies of his books. So it makes him one of the world's biggest fantasy writers that are living today.
Damn. Ooh. Holy crap, I'm going to...
So he is a lot bigger than people think.
Yeah. Tell you a lot of these are, for some reason, haven't, at least in current pop culture, they're not well known. Let me look. I want to look his net worth. It says about 12 million, which makes sense. Yeah.
That's not bad. Mm-hmm. I'd be happy to be worth one.
I was about ready to say I'd be worth or $500,000.
Right?
Yeah, he was also the guy who named Darth Bane in Star Wars.
Oh, that's right.
That is correct.
He wrote the Star Wars Episode 1 novel.
Yes, he did. He did a good job. I liked it.
Yeah, he actually did He even did a good job with some of the worst parts of episode 1. I remember when I read the novelization, I'm
Yes.
like, okay, he almost.
Yeah, he was hired to write the novelization of the book, but he was meeting with George Lucas as well, and he was told to add this and this and this to the book because George didn't have time to put it in the movie because it would be a 4 or 5 hour long movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of the rule of two stuff is left out of the movie, but it's added to the novelization and fleshed out there, which is hence why it's called the expanded universe.
Yeah.
It expands on the movies. Quite often, it's done after George said it should be expanded.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and especially with the prequel. I mean, I remember, I was there. That yeah, that was a thing, and it was very well known. Everyone talked about
Yes.
it. It's just now they're trying to erase that history.
Yeah, and episode 2 and 3 both had a prequel novel that was released a few months before the movie.
Yes, they did.
So the people waiting for the movie could read the novel, and that would set the stage for the movie. So they could
Precisely.
like catch up with the events because there's time skips.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, way more so than we had with the old trilogy.
No.
Well, and it was cool because it got you excited for the next movie. You know, it's like,
Mhm.
all right, now I want to see what happens
Yeah.
next.
And-
you know,
And the movies referenced those novels directly
Yes,
Mhm.
they did.
several times. So when
sure
people say,
did.
"Oh yeah, the novels were never canon," I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
it
they
says
were.
the official the official prequel to Revenge of the Sith,
Yep.
and the Revenge of the Sith through the references is a direct continuation of that novel."
Yeah,
Yep.
and also they also served a purpose of they kept the excitement going between the trilogies. Or sorry,
Oh
between
yeah,
movies rather. Snorta Poopa says, and he, I believe he's referring to Terry Brooks, finished the series. Unlike a certain person I won't name whose initials are JRRM.
yeah. Well, to be fair, Terry Brooks finished the series a couple of years ago, and he started it in 1977.
Yeah. But
So he's spent longer than Martin, but
But he
he,
had more
he
books.
oh yeah, way more books, but they're not as complex.
true. But they're also he's not been living on a trampoline and a choo choo
Yeah,
train.
and Terry Brooks is not a lazy bastard.
Yeah.
exactly. That's it. Yeah. Dig Outlaw. Heidi Ho. Yes. Hello. Hello, everyone. Luffy's God said, did he write that Darth Plagueis was looking for Anakin too?
No, that's in the
No.
Plagueis novel, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yes, I think
That was
so.
James Luceno, who also worked closely with George Lucas when writing that book,
Yeah.
because that book was really important to Lucas.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, hell yes. I mean, it was everything. I just got finished reading The Force Unleashed, the graphic novel, and the whole prelude, the introduction, the author was saying how nervous he was because he had to go to before George Lucas and give the pitch.
Yeah.
And how nerve-wracking that was, and that George Lucas liked it, but he said, but I want you to do this, this, and this. And of course he was like, okay. So yeah, so this idea that George Lucas had no involvement is Bolshevik.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing got published without him approving it,
Yeah.
Exactly.
except for a lot of the stuff in the Clone Wars, because Dave Filoni bragged about how he had left scenes out when he was showing the episodes to George, and then he put the
Mhm.
scenes back in
Yep.
before they aired.
Yeah, he's a snake.
There's a clip of him boasting about that.
Yeah. And
And
by that
naturally,
point,
the stuff he put in contradicted the movies.
Yep. He did it just to be a jerk.
because he wanted to make it his own. By that point, though, I think George was kind of on his way out and saying like, "Screw it all."
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
didn't.
yeah,
There's an interview with Lucas where he says that, I only check in once a week at the most because he was getting ready to retire.
yeah, he was
That
having
was
baby.
when he was, yeah, that was 2008 when he was filming Red Tails.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So there. Yeah, good points all right, well, as we wrap up chapter 6, any thoughts? I'm going to start with Rennie. Any thoughts about this particular chapter, or the 3 chapters we read this week, or all 6 chapters? Just I'm going to turn the microphone over to you.
Well, on this one, you know, especially the way it ends, it's like, okay, so are they going to be safe without Minion? Are they going to find Minion? I mean, I'm pretty sure that they will, but how far ahead or how far behind, is everybody from each other, as far as that goes. So kind of leaves you wanting to know, what's going to happen next with that dynamic. But I think I liked these 3 chapters better than the first 3. Like I said, the first one, like number 1 was just very slow for me. And then it got better with 2 and then better with 3. But now we're really getting into the whole adventure and the excitement, because chapter 4 is like, okay, it's fight or flight time and it's very suspenseful, but at the same time, tense because, Flick doesn't want to do this. It's like, oh, this is going to suck. And, Shay's like, look, you want to do this, we got to do it my way. This is my thing. I didn't ask for it, but I have to do it. And, then you get introduced to Minion, and that adds another interesting dynamic. And now the 3 of them are off on the adventure together. And, right away they hit some turmoil. So I'm very curious to see what happens next, but it's definitely keeping my interest.
Yeah. Yeah. See?
Yeah, what she said. And I've noticed also that there's no empty chapters. Every chapter drives the story forward, right?
Yeah.
In a measurable way.
Yeah, good point. We start at one point, we end at one point, and
something in there happens. Like the first chapter, you have the introduction of Flick and Al-Anon, and we're told that something is not right.
Yeah.
Because Al-Anon is nervous in the forest, right? And they hear that screeching sound.
Yes.
And so you have some drama all the way. And in the second chapter, you have the exposition where we're told, oh shit, Shay has to do something because otherwise they're going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third ends with the skull bearers skulking around. Yeah. Then you have a chase chapter, and then you have the introduction of Minion, and they go into the bog and get lost a little bit, and Flick sinks into the mud. And then we have in the 6th chapter, we have the action scene with the monster, and then Minion is lost. So there's always something happening that drives the story, forward. Because quite often in books, you will have chapters that seem rather empty.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true.
But this doesn't have that so far.
Yeah, it kind of sits there. And not to point any fingers at Tolkien because I love him, but those rather notorious chapters with Bombadil, it does kind of slows down the action, the forward momentum.
Yeah, Bombadil is very hard to read for me every time.
Yeah. On their own, they're fine, but if you're wanting to get forward to the story, but yeah, that's a good point, Stig. And one that's also, that's just good writing in general. I think that when people forget, hey, my job here is to entertain and keep people reading and keep things going, that's when they start to become pretentious and boring and all that. We'll see that in books, but I think the equivalent in TV shows, like even in the stupid Persuasion adaptation that I had the displeasure to watch, you're minding your own business, and then they pause to say, let's pause for a feminist message, and they'll just randomly say something weird. It's the same thing with books when they do that and they digress. You can only get away with digressions like that if you are, for example, Tolkien or Victor Hugo. Victor Hugo was notorious for that in Les Mis. He'll be like, well, while we're here, let's spend 60 pages talking about the Battle of Waterloo. I mean, you can do that if you're a freaking great classic person. But if you're not, then do what Terry Brooks did.
Yeah, and so far though, none of the action scenes have been pointless because even the tentacle monster seems like it's just there to add danger to the characters. Well, it is because of the swamp and the rumors and all that, but it also shows us that the elf stones can be used as a weapon, and it's a powerful one.
Yes, not just a GPS.
Yep.
Oh, Luffy says, "Oh no, you don't. Tom Bombadil's a real hero in Lord of the
So
Rings."
so if he hadn't done that, and he does it at the end with the elf stones would be a Deus Ex Machina, because if he defeats the big bad with the elf stones, right, without them having been used as a weapon before, you'll go, why didn't they do that then and then and then earlier in the book? Which is kind of what they do with the new Star Wars movies. They just give people powers as the plot needs it. But in this case, the elf stones got established early, very early.
Instead of,
And
yeah.
Okay. All right, Stig, you convinced me because I think I'd said earlier that I thought they were using them too much, but okay.
I do like what you said about that, Stig, because that's true. Instead of just magically pulling something out of their ass at the last minute, oh, we're saved, we've got this.
yeah,
It's like, oh, okay, we already know we have this, we can use it. Instead of it just being like, I painted myself in a corner and I don't know how to write these characters free. So
yeah.
I do like that very much.
And you'll know in the next books too, if someone has the elf stones, that yeah, these can be used as a weapon, but the character might not even know yet. But then if he discovers it at the end, it still won't be a Deus Ex Machina because we'll read the previous books,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they can be used as weapons. So this is why you establish early on, especially with magic. If there's a magic system going on in this fantasy story, what you can and can't do with magic is important to establish early. Maybe especially what you can't do.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I now have something to ponder. But well, maybe I need to get that book. You mentioned this to me, Stig, that there's a book he wrote about writing. Terry Brooks.
Yeah, it's called Sometimes the Magic Works. It also has the chapter about him working with Lucas
Okay.
in it. It's a very fun book. It's 200 pages something.
Oh, wow.
He writes little anecdotes from his life and how those have given him writing lessons, and also how, technical bits without getting too technical. He basically shows us instead of telling us, right?
Hmm.
So, yes, Sometimes the Magic Works. It's one of the best books on writing I've ever read.
Well, I'll be damned. Okay, well, I'm looking here. Yeah, you can get it on Amazon. I'm sure you can get it on eBay and maybe at your local library, if anyone still goes to libraries.
Yeah, I'd get it on eBay because it's probably dirt cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about what, $14-15 on. Yeah, so I think he might be worth having a look at. Sometimes people will send stuff for me to proofread or a novel or something, and I'll even be like, have you studied writing? I mean, not to be an asshole, about it. It's just like, well, no, I wrote it. It's like, well, art writing is a craft. And that, yeah, you may have the best idea on earth, but you have to have knowledge of the craft.
Yeah. I'm looking at the book on eBay right now. Like I said, it's called Sometimes the Magic Works by Terry Brooks, and you'll get it for around $4 on eBay.
Oh, there you go. That's much cheaper than on Amazon. So
Yeah.
do that. Yeah. Well, there we are. Sometimes, and there is magic. The fact that the writer can get me to care, like right now, I want to know what's going to happen to these boys. So to me, that is always the biggest hurdle.
I
Um,
think if you don't believe there's magic in words, you'll never write anything magical.
Hmm.
ooh. Sorry, I'm like, ooh. um, and not to completely digress, but though this is toward the end where I do, where it's like we can digress if we want to. I
Oh,
was
just a side note: the new release of the book has a key on it.
no, you got to be kidding me, no, Steve, no.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Jacob Ironside says the Shannara Chronicles looks like CW show. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's terrible. Don't watch that show.
Yeah, yeah, and don't. Well, there's several things I think that would might make that dangerous, if you will. It's like one, it'll suck, but two, you might get spoiled on plot points from the books, and you want to discover them in the correct way, the way that they were supposed to be. Um, the what you were saying, Steve, about if you don't believe in the magic of words and those kind of things, you won't believe in anything magical. It just struck me about the San Diego Comic Con interviews that I've been a little bit privy to. Usually, I do kind of pay attention to see what's coming up. It's a preview, and the Rings of Power interviews, like the actors, they never talked about the magic of it, the magic of myth, the art of it, and all that, or they would just pay uh lip service to it. It's like, oh yes, yes, this was respecting Tolkien, like they were told that they got a memo, but they just wanted to talk about themselves. And
Well, did you see that the showrunner, one of the showrunners said something like, "Yeah, we purposely, injected modernization and didn't stick to lore and don't really care kind of thing." But then they tried to backtrack,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "Yeah, we all knew it was going to happen, but thank you, or it was happening, but thank you for at least confirming it and being honest." But then they backtracked. So
Yeah,
I,
they're in trouble. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and did you catch how other YouTubers have pointed this out, but they use this quote of Tolkien about, yeah, other people will come and mold it and all that. They're like, yeah, that's what Tolkien said. And they leave out that Tolkien said in the next sentence, absurd.
exactly. They just chopped it up. It's like me like taking a quote and just using the word the out of it and saying, "See, I quoted this person," because I've seen people do stuff like that in the past, and I'm like, "Come on, man,
Yeah.
seriously."
Yeah. So in other words, yeah, Tolkien himself said what you were doing is absurd. But how intellectually dishonest to leave out the point that Tolkien then said, yes, everything that people when they say that, that's Bolshevik. Um, Kelvin says Frank Conniff has a great book called How to Write Cheesy Movies, the only screenwriting guide you'll ever need. Liffy's God says you don't need to learn to write anymore. Get a tan and say you are gay, and next thing you know, you're writing Rings of Power for Amazon. Yeah. Yeah, but again, it's not about the writing, it's not about the craft. It well, I find that there's two aspects that I run across. You have what's really going on with the establishment right now is the craft and all that doesn't matter because how much melatonin, whatever they say you have in your skin. Uh, but uh, but also I do run across even sincere people that maybe want to have good stories and all that, but they won't put in the time.
I
And
think a lot of people, through narcissism, are more interested in being able to call themselves a writer than actually write. And because you see people label themselves as writers just because they've written fan fiction on a forum, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they've never been published. And this is a fact. It's actually from that book I just mentioned. Terry Brooks refused to call himself a writer until he had 3 books in print.
Yeah. Yeah.
So spot the difference. And then you have new people going, "Yeah, I'm a writer." And then if you ask them what they've written, it's like, "Yeah, it's like Transformers fan fiction on the forum."
Yeah.
Like
Or
that doesn't make a writer.
Yeah. Or things that
Yeah.
are self-published. And at this point, I'm not going to knock self-publishing because sometimes that's the only way anyone will ever get
Oh,
anything printed.
self-publishing was how Brandon Sanderson made it.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I'm careful
Yeah.
about knocking self-publishing. But just because you've self-published something, it doesn't mean that what you've done is good. I tell people that yes, I have been an essayist, but I didn't wake up one day and say I'm going to write this brilliant essay that's going to be really popular. It's like I've been writing essay, because I majored in history and music too. But I've been writing essays 24/7 for 7 years before I had an essay published. You know what I mean? It's not that I magically knew how to write an essay, a publishable essay. It was the craft. It was the professors back when professors were professors knocking me about. It was my friends knocking me about. It's a craft. And it's the same way with all kinds of writing, though I
Yeah,
haven't.
it's like calling yourself a carpenter just because you made a bird box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Sort of Poopa says, I have a pin, I'm a writer. Yeah. And I'll throw this just in case anyone starts to get sensitive. No, I'm probably not talking about you, okay, if you're listening in, okay, because but you can just shoot it with Mennehoff and Weiss. I think that they're a very good example. They hadn't done anything. And
No, they got the job because Benioff's dad is a major shareholder at HBO.
That
So
makes sense.
basically, his daddy got him the gig.
Yeah.
And where are Dan and Dave now?
No one even wants them. No, even Disney
Right?
Star Wars doesn't want them.
Hopefully, right behind the bent over Prince William.
Oh no.
Oh, I think he only likes women doing that to him. But yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are women.
Oh well,
Yeah.
and I found that when I learned about these two guys doing the Rings of Power, that they were remarkably similar to Benioff and Wise, like two dudes who didn't seem to know anything with no experience. Uh, I think they were script doctors, and hey, script doctoring is fine, but that's not.
That doesn't make you a writer. It just means you can proofread.
Yeah, and that you understand maybe how to make a screenplay, but to have never had anything of their own, never show run anything, never even half run anything, to be given the most expensive TV series in history. Yeah. Luffy's God is taking exception with you, Stieg. Hey, my Optimus Prime coming out story got great reviews on Reddit. Bad form, Stieg.
Yeah, you should publish it.
Yeah. I have Sonora Poopa says I have an idea for a comprehensive multi-volume history of nose hair trimmers. Yeah. Oh my. Jacob Ironside, I have a smartphone. I'm a writer. Yeah. Well, and remember when it finally came out that the story group on Star Wars, the Star Wars story group, they hadn't actually had any screen writing experience at all, or if they had, it was like for like one TV show in the 90s and all that kind of stuff. You're seeing a theme. The only thing is, but I also tell people that might even be good writers, I'll say, you can write the best screenplay on planet Earth. Right now, it doesn't matter. It will not get made. Period. Not by mainstream Hollywood. Now, you do see some of these alternate ones coming out, like what they're trying to do with, what's his face? Daily Wire, and, like the Gina Carano movie and stuff, which, it was okay. It was good. I mean, it was a watch. But, I mean, if you want to write something, you're better just to do a fan film. Do it yourself. You're not going to get into Hollywood. You're not going to get the money. It's just not going to happen. Kelly said, I do a lot of script doctoring. It pays well, and I even got a film canceled because the script was so bad. LOL. Yeah. And like I said, and I'm not knocking script doctoring. It is a job, and it is needed, and it's wanted, and there is skill behind it. But someone goes and gives someone show running a show and all that is a completely different skill and all that. Jacob Barnes says, Kevin, I wish Amazon would come to you with their Rings of Power script. Well, yeah, they probably wouldn't have listened to a darn thing you would have said anyways. Jacob Ironside says, I was too old, white, and straight to be asked to work on that. You see, and okay, you said what I can't say because someone approached me and I'm like, just self-publish. You're not going to get it published. I'm like, you're not gay, you're not, and you're not. You don't have the right skin color. It's just not going to happen. And nowadays, even if you're gay, apparently that's not good enough. So because they're having all sorts of splintering within their community, you have to be several different letters, or you have to be this, this, and this. The Fifth God said, I joke, but I'm too late. IGN already made all the Transformers bi or gay. She was a traditional woman. Turned Poopa Scooper says, there are scripts that need doctoring. There are scripts that need to be put on life support, and there are scripts that just need to be put out of their misery. Yes. In the end, they won't. Either that or hear me out. If there is anyone listening, give up on your dreams for a movie or a TV show and see about if your skills transfer into playwriting, because putting on and producing a play is a lot cheaper and a lot easier than a movie, and you'll actually get it done. You can even go to your local church. A lot of churches have like theater halls and theater groups. Produce your own play. Get your art out that way. You'll have a much better chance of actually getting something done than something otherwise. And a lot of towns have community theater as well, and they're more than happy to take your money to rent out the hall and stuff. It's not very expensive if you know the right people.
Practice makes better.
Exactly, and it gives you practice. I was about to say, and or hell, do what I used to do as a kid. Didn't you do this where you would write stories and then you'd get out your video camera and you'd film it in the living room with your friends? Or I did. I don't know about other people, but
no, we didn't have a video camera.
I wasn't much of a writer.
We had a bog.
You had a what?
A bog.
A bog. Hey, well, lots of things could happen in a bog. Yeah. No, we had. Well, okay, let me this way. When I was a kid in Ireland, we had one of those big clunky home video things. They were like bigger than most studio cameras nowadays.
Yeah. We had one too. It was pretty huge, and back in the day.
Yeah. So I'm just saying there's different ways you can get your skills out. There's been some cool fan film things like using anime. Just pictures. But and I'll tell you what, there's been some really cool Star Wars fan films where you can tell the people just went into their backyard with some trees and called it indoor. That has more drama than Disney Star Wars. It's more engaging. No, there's like a really good one, like with some stormtroopers and they're kind of fighting and it was just like a little story. And
the guy that does the CGI or 3D animated, I guess, Thrawn trilogy, he's doing terrific work.
Oh, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah,
because I think he's almost done with book 1 so far, and he's not leaving anything out either. This is, in my opinion, if he finishes the trilogy, it's going to take time, but if he does, that'll be the sequel trilogy for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we were even saying, well, before, like even in the 90s, it's like they need to make an animated movie out of it and use the voices of Carrie Fisher and all them.
Yeah, also the voice acting in those, in that fan film is spot on almost. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have the link, Stieg, or if someone else does, go ahead and put it in the chat because, yes, I agree. If you want to see that brought to life, that's That's the best way. And as you said, that is the sequel to Star Wars, the Return of the Jedi. Also, the graphic novel is, um, in my opinion, the visual way to see it as well. Yeah, that's good stuff. Why isn't this okay?
Yeah, so far it's he's done with Heir to the Empire Part 1, and it's an hour and 49 minutes.
Wow.
And yeah, the book is not done. I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so
Yeah.
please, everyone, go see that. It's movie linked, and of course, the best thing is to read the book, but support these. So we got that, and we got I don't know. Well, I of course I'm reading backward. I'm going through the Dragonlance, and I'm really enjoying those. And if you see me on Twitter, I've been buying up these books like a mad woman. I've been going to half price books. I got one hell of a haul yesterday. A bunch of Terry Brooks, David Eddings, and some more Dragonlance. Um, or go back to the classics. Myself and Alasia Troubled Green, we did a stream on Wednesday about the book Persuasion by Jane Austen. If you like those kind of books, that's go ahead and maybe get into them. The Elizabeth Gaskell ones are good. I'm talking chick flicks here. Yeah, classics like North and South, Cranford. There we go. Thank you, Steve, for putting the link in there. Everyone, please go give that a watch, especially if you are a fan of Star Wars. Well, Steve. Oh well, you're reading. Well, you're reading a lot of these same books too.
Oh yeah, I tend to read several at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So usually when I post on Twitter, done reading this one, and give it a score from 1 to 10. I usually do a few in a row in a few days. It's because I've been reading four at the same time, so I just get little bundles of books finished. But now I'm reading the fourth X-Wing book, which is great. That's a fantastic series. And that Solomon Kane stuff by Robert E. Howard is the complete collection thing. And I'm also reading an old Forgotten Realms book. So, and what else? Oh yeah, the Sword of Shannara.
Yeah, yeah, that too.
And a Witcher book. I'm on book chronologically. I'm on book 6 out of 8. So,
well, there you go. Yeah, I've been reading. Like I was saying, and I should have added that Steve's gotten me into some what I guess asterisks. I
comics.
Sometimes, yeah, the comics. There's some old comics from the '60s, and they're really cute. Asterix the Gaul. I get in trouble when I say it wrong. I've also been reading old Wonder Woman comics, the original ones from the 1940s, which are a blast. They're very good stories, but they're also kind of hilarious because very old fashioned. And she's always tied up. A lot of tied up people.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah. So go backwards, not forwards. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap up this party. I want to thank everyone that showed up. Well, we got Jacob, Snortopupus, Luffy is God, Kelvington, Keely Chow, Jacob Ironside. I think I already said you. If I didn't, well, never mind. I'll say you twice. Adega, Dana Scully. We had Wilkins make an appearance. Tyron, BC, The New Dark Shadow, Monkey Jeebus. JT Gunn. Wow, we had quite a gang today. Timon Flip, my mods. Thank you, everyone, for being awesome and helping me out. Though I think the Russians have gone away. I don't know. They're not very interested in us anymore. Keck 44, thank you so much. Yes, goodbye. I didn't know if there was anything you wanted to plug, Rennie.
Well, it looks like we may be talking about the original Tron movie on Mr. Brown Alliance later today, which will be about 4:30 Central. I may also be making an appearance on King Dolphin TV as well. So we'll see. But yeah, otherwise I'll see you guys here next Saturday with luck providing. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Okay, how about you, Steve?
Well, I'm gonna be on. Well, if I'm awake, I'm gonna be on with Mara on Wednesday
Yeah.
for a Predator 1 and 2 discussion. We're
Ooh.
not doing Cringe Factory this week, so
Okay.
we're doing a movie talk because she's gonna watch the new one that comes out the day after, I think.
Oh, this will be a very good. Yeah, excellent. Good.
Yeah. Um, I think that's it. I don't do much YouTube anymore at all.
Hmm.
It's Deaths and Mara's channel. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think I've cut down for sure and been a little bit of a happier woman for it because uh, I do enjoy it though. I do enjoy the streams I do, but um, life also hits a little bit hard every now and then. At least for me, I'll speak for myself. So sometimes you got things happening, but you will definitely find me here at Miss Martin Muses. For certain, I'm going to be continuing with this, obviously, the Saturday book streams, maybe a few spontaneous ones now and then. I really did enjoy going back with some of that nostalgia with the old fashioned Jane Austen book. So maybe I might do a few more of those. And in a few weeks, I'm going to be doing another crochet stream. Um, with me and hopefully a guest. I won't announce her if until I get her. So stay tuned if you like crocheting, crafts, or needlework. Actually, gosh, that sounds very posh and girly, doesn't it? And then we're gonna have a tea party afterwards. So bring your tea and your crumpets. But yeah, well, that's what I like. What can I say? I like doing that. So have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, and be certain if you are about to be hit by a tentacle monster, have some elf stones ready to go.